Hi, Allison. I wanted to comment on your post because after reading through, it seemed like you had a great grasp on the article and the different questions that we were asked this week, about the research question, the type of study it was, the limitations, strengths, and then the things that you found interesting. So, because of that, I found it really insightful, some of the things that you had to say and your perception on the article and that all there was to it. So, one thing that I did enjoy reading was some of the stuff that you had found interesting. Some of it was the same that I had identified, such as the religious service not being identified in the article. They did not say, or disclose what type of religion it was. So it makes me question, what certain religions do things differently. And so, how does the prayer or that service really, that religious service, impact that adolescent? If we don't know, was it, a Catholic? Was it more of a Christian? Was it like a Muslim service? You never really know on what that would look like and how that would work, which then again leads to the same thing. One of the limitations that, you had discussed as well of, this not being able to be generalized. So while the study was, I think a great kind of starter study, it did not allow for further generalization. In the sense of, you can't really generalize to just religious service because again, religious services all encompass different things. And the same thing of the study was so limited on the participants being of that higher socioeconomic status, being primarily female and being primarily Caucasian, that doesn't really allow for like what we were learning with the heterogeneity of the different diversity that is included, through the study to allow for that generalization. So I think those are some really great points that you had brought up, within the discussion board. The other thing that I had mentioned that you didn't mention in yours, but I found interesting, was the conclusion that it actually led to further physical impacts in a negative manner, where people weren't really receiving that health, which was kind of interesting to me, knowing that majority of the study came from nurses. So is it more they're not receiving the care because the parent is a nurse and so they're being taken care of at home, and so they're not really reaching out and looking into that type of medical care? Or was it because they are using their religion and prayer and using what they're learning to, come and pray, if you were weak, come to me, then are they using that to help them? And that is what's impacting their physical well-being. So I think that was a really interesting kind of point that came out of the article as well. I really enjoyed how you kind of did some other statistical stuff on talking about, the teen pregnancies. And then I know that some of it was covered in the depressive and self-esteem and anxiety symptoms, but you had gone a little bit more, providing some of those statistics in there, talking about that. So I really enjoyed reading your perspective on that as well. So again, I thank you for your post. I thought it was very well spoken or well written, very easy to read, and that you had a great grasp on the article from this week. So thank you.